Welcome back everyone to the deciding match to determine who will be the second seed moving on to the knockout stage. I am Vulcan and with me is Arctic. We will be your casters for the last game that will decide the fate of Team Manila Eagles and Resurgence. Who will go to the knockout stage? We'll find out in this game.
Man, oh man, what an interesting game that we have here. Two of the teams, we have the Philippines, of course, who has been almost consistently towards the mid to top of the pack in the GPL, while for Singapore, out of nowhere, you know, after consistently being at the bottom over these past few splits, boom, suddenly this is their chance at glory right here.
This is the effect where we are seeing the roster changes towards Resurgence, where they do have two Thailand imports, and Team Manila Eagles, this is their first GPL. Let's get to it. This is going to be the do or die scenario. Will TME make it to the knockout stage, or will it be Resurgence? TME's first time in the GPL, making their way to the knockout stage. That is already a good record for the new team entering the GPL, whereas Resurgence, previously known as Team Rigel, moving on to the knockout stage is also a huge achievement. So two teams are out there to make some history.
Indeed, history, especially for this one where it's very crucial. Well, hashtag Worlds is on the line here. But then again, looking at the bans here to check out this very, very crucial game. Galio, Oriana, and Rakan going to be banned out from Resurgence, while Callista, Shen, and Zac, three champions that Team Manila Eagles are very proficient at, are going to be banned out from them.
So this is actually going to be one of the picks that Coops changed the flow of the team fight with Developer Hunters. The Zac and the Shen, they were the key combos in TME's victory against KLH. So TME, not wasting any time, already picking up the Jana and Kokmao, followed by the Gragas. So Resurgence thinking of countering this with a Braum and Ash. This concludes the first picking phase. This is going to be the do or die scenario. On to the second phase. This is going to be everything they built up, everything they worked towards here is on the line here.
Man, I'm actually surprised right now because Kog'Maw and Marky is not really a thing you think are synonymous to Marky, because when you think Marky, you think these powerful picks like the Callista, like the Saya, like the Twitch, but Kog'Maw, it's going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic works, although as it is paired with the Jana, combined with if Rocks could build up on that Ardent sensor earlier on without really losing their lane as hard, then you know it's going to be very interesting dynamic for Team Manila Eagles here. But looking at the bans for the second rotation here, it's going to be the Corki taken away from Trevor, one of those champions that he has proven to be
Comfort pick. One of his safest pick, where he does not feed that fast. And if you put it blatantly or frankly,
true. Actually,
this is the pick that TME goes for in order for Trevor to have this room to grow. He does perform really well towards the late game, and I don't think Resurgence will allow that.
Not at all.
And also removing the Jace of Trevor. Now they're focusing on to Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, we have been pegging Trevor. Has been, unfortunately, a little bit shaky over the course of the group stage. So best to deny those very powerful picks that he can execute. So we'll just have to see Ciela, though, actually going to be locking in the Lucian for Intresso. So we are going to be seeing that Lucian going into the mid lane once again.
So this is going to be hover on the Cassiopeia, locked in. This is actually going to be marking some territory for Team Manila Eagles, because a Cassiopeia against a Lucian. I wonder how that will go, and this is going to be the Sion in the top lane that did manage to get through. However, Resurgence did manage to pick very powerful champions here in the strong meta. Cho'Gath and the Rumble Top.
Looks like they will be sending that Cho'Gath jungle after all, so nonetheless, with both sides locked in. Also notably, the Sion coming in from JLC. How that'll work, we'll just have to see. Although, as of the last game, he actually played Sion. I guess it was okay. It's definitely okay.
Well, it's the... I wouldn't say it was okay. It's more of a surprise. They did catch the enemy off guard. He did manage to lock in one ADC under the top lane turret.
True.
Managed to solo kill it. So this is going to be GLC's playstyle, where he does love to play defensively, whereas Resurgence is going to be going for more of an offensive side. A rumble in the top. If that rumble starts snowballing, this could be the end for TME.
Indeed, that's something they want to try to avoid here, especially looking at their picks here. But nonetheless, it has come down to this very, very crucial game we're in. I don't know, man, because both teams are looking very, very strong. As much as I have true support for Team Manila Eagles, Singapore as well, this is like finally their moment to achieve glory that has been denied split after split after split, unfortunately. But it's really good to see that we're seeing a change of tempo from the Singaporean team.
It's the whole about roster change. When the roster change happens, expect that everything is going to change. Everything you knew from the past GPL will be irrelevant, because we did see that one of the huge roster changes we saw was the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, where we did see Ozora Veke come back into the team. However, it did not perform that well.
Yes.
So this is the do or die scenario where Team Manila Eagles or Resurgence will be securing their second seed, but they will be fighting the Gigabyte Marines. So this is going to be a huge blow. This is going to be a huge honor for the second seed to actually fight against the consistent, the most powerful team in the whole Southeast Asia. The consistent GPL champions, the Gigabyte Marines, will be fighting the second seed, while as Ascension Gaming will be fighting the first seed, which would be obviously Young Generation.
Man, I'm pretty pumped up for this game because, yeah, like you mentioned, regardless, whoever wins, they have quite the juggernaut to go up against. Gigabyte Marines.
It's also the fact that when you make it to the knockout stage, you have two chances. There is the knockout stage. There is the winner's bracket, the loser's bracket. Whoever, at least you have two chances to make it to the play-in stage to Worlds in China. So let us see how Trevor is feeling right now. I mean, in this interview video.
First day kasi nag-struggle pa ako. Siguro bagong laro lang sa international stage, kaya di pa okay laro ko. Nung second day na, natuto na ako sa mali ko, kaya eto nakabawi ako nung game 1 and game 2. Nakip ko yung confidence ko dahil sa walang pagsawa na pagtiwala rin ng mga kampi ko sa akin. Yung laro nila nun sobrang lakas, kaya cheer up na nila ako para yung laro ko maging okay din, kaya nakabawi ako ng game 1 and game 2 ng day 2. Yung nag-contribute sa panalo namin, yung walang kasawang pag-encourage ng mga kampi ko, ng boss, tsaka ng coach. Tsaka especially sa girlfriend ko na laging nagsusupport, kundi dahil sa kanila, baka yung games namin ngayon baka masira lang lalo. Message ko sa fans ng TME, salamat sa pag-suporta nyo sa amin. Dahil sa inyo, lumalakas kami lalo. Tsaka sa mga nagda-doubt sa amin dyan, papakita na namin lakas namin.
Let us see if Trevor will be staying true to his Worlds. The do-or-die scenario of Team Manila Eagles, the representative from the Philippines, fighting against Resurgence from Singapore. Let's get straight to it. This is going to be the last game. I don't think we'll be seeing any more tiebreakers, being that this is actually a tiebreaker itself.
Nope, not at all. But looks like RS gonna be getting some vision onto the side of Team Manila Eagles for a little bit of information. Interesting, because you know, if ever they get a holdout on Coops, then that gives them awareness as to how much they could kind of expand their wingspan as far as how they go about their lanes, and even as well as the pathing of Coops eventually. So looks like Rock as well was able to spot out that no start on the blue side, so there's highly likely chance that Coops is starting off the bot side, and into this game we go. Look at this though, Trevor actually taking about 3/5 of, or rather 2/5 of his health bar down, so have to be a little bit more careful there.
This is actually pretty risky for TME because they are playing the same strategy where they used against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, where they are going to be banking on that late game spike of Marky, but if Marky does not perform properly in the bot lane, this will spell trouble for TME and any hopes of making it into the play-in stage or the Worlds.
Indeed. Trevor here having a little bit of a struggle. Actually, a wave up here in Treso is, so I'll have to be a little bit more careful. If anything, might be needing to help alleviate some of that pressure going on that mid lane, because otherwise he might have another tricky time.
So far, things are looking pretty pushed in for Team Manila Eagles. Resurgence really putting the heat on all lanes. Top, middle, bottom lane are all pushed in, where we do see some opportunities for our junglers to step in. Look at the damage coming in from Trevor. Now here comes Scopes for the gank. Flash is still available. He does flash away from that knockup.
Yes, and with a Summoner Spell down, that actually does give Cooks a little bit more maneuverability as far as getting potential gank should he decide to go for a roundabout and try their luck once again onto getting first blood onto Rock.
So this is going to be a sort of a reset in the top lane side. Whereas the mid lane, we do see that Interesto can be ganked, and we are seeing Eternal stealing some resources. Cubs going in for a return gank. I don't think this is going to spell good for Rock. He does not have any more flash. Double CC in. There is the knockup, but the slow for the red buff will be more than enough. A flash in from JLC. The first blood will go to Cubs.
Yes, indeed. Team Manila Eagles after a good start though, but Eternal in exchange actually going to be training a bit of Cooks' camp after a little bit of a long stay there towards top. So, but nonetheless, mission accomplished. Good start for Team Manila Eagles. We'll see if they could build up on that though, because Resurgence still very much in it to win it.
With the first blood going towards Cubs, let us see the replay on what happened.
Oh man, though. So let's go ahead and check it out right here. Because of that flash down, it was very crucial because JLC, I'm not sure that flash was necessary though, because it's just weird. It's just very weird. Although, I guess for the security of the kill, sure, but I don't know, man.
Okay, in terms of where Arctic does not know what is going to be going up, but you know what's up. That TME got the first blood.
Yep.
You have a good start. You have that good mojo going on. So right now, we're going to be seeing Coops returning a gank. Flash, not yet available. But for Coops, he does have his flash and knock up onto Rock. Focusing onto that Rumble, shutting him down as much as they can. JLC, however, does block the last Harpoon. Here comes the turn off for the flash and knockup. Will not connect. Will JLC taking the heat?
Yeah, and Treso there as
coming in. JLC does eat up the knock. 3 members invested in the top lane side. JLC will be giving the kill to Intreso.
Yes, that was a little bit of a mishap there for Team Manila Eagles. Not really estimating that Eternal might have already been within the vicinity after transitioning towards bot side. So again, we're back on even playing field here. 1-1 rather in terms of the scoreboard here. So.
And now we're seeing that Intreso has the Cutlass, but on the bot lane side, we are seeing some retaliation from Marky. Look at how the lanes work. That is the first indication of you will know who has the upper hand. But seeing how it's a back and forth scenario, a tug of war, it's a matter of who can intervene. Who can change the flow of fight? This will be the jungler's duty. We did see that Coops did just that. And might expect some assistance again in the top lane side. We are seeing a heavy focus in the top lane.
Indeed, and this is going to be interesting now. Let's go ahead and check out what happened towards the top side here though. So in the replay here, Coach actually getting a successful knockup, but the fact is they weren't really able to, again, this is Rock getting that perfect shield on, and it was just enough time bought so that Eternal and Intreso could go for the response here. So Cook already within the safety, but there's just no salvaging here for JLC. Sure, he tried to head along around, but didn't really last enough. But here we go, Trevor getting the kill.
Tables upturned. Under the third kill will be now to Intreso. Not anymore. Trevor will be killed under his own turret. He is stepping up in this game. Resurgence getting a bit edgy here. So we're going to be seeing how will this game turn out? TME with a kill score 2-1. 7 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Gold advantage, not too far, but it's the distribution that matters.
Indeed. And with all said and done here, Trevor, you know, this was kind of the way here. He was receiving a lot from Tresso, but as soon as he hit out the poison along with the twin fang for that kill, then that's where things started balancing a bit. But nonetheless, we'll just have to see again. Clearly, there's just so much emphasis on these two junglers, both Coops and Internal, to really get things going. Let's go ahead and check out what happened here, though. JLC actually storming in. Intresso just kind of blocked out from any form of escape here. JLC eventually getting the slow, following into a knockup. Flash out from Trevor to make sure that he follows up on the damage to secure that kill.
So with a 2-1 kill score, Trevor looking pretty good with the tier stacking up nicely. He will be going for the Arm Seeker's guard.
There we go, though. Nonetheless, I mean, let's go ahead and check out the itemization here real quick. Lucian actually already having the Bilge Water Cutlass. Well, of course, Trevor gonna go for the Tear of the Goddess, you know, gives him that extra mana with all the Twin Fangs being thrown out here.
And so far, steady pace going in all throughout the map. Resurgence will be trying to go for this Infernal. No wards placed in. This is going to be a sneaky Infernal, one of the highest in priority Drake out there. Anyone wants this Drake, but it will be Resurgence getting the upper hand in this objective.
That's going to be very painful because if you're going to look at the composition that Resurgence has across the board, there are a lot of champions that hurt, ranging from the Rumble, the Shogat, the Lucian, the Ashe. This is necessarily not a Drake that Team Manila Eagles wants to give up, but unfortunately has already happened as the first Drake does indeed go to Resurgence uncontested.
This is going to be a huge bonus for Resurgence. We are seeing a Rumble, a Lucian, Shogat. They will all benefit from this. All champions here, whereas TME, I don't think they had the luxury to give that away, but they are going to be playing it safe. They do not want to risk anything else.
Here we go. So, this is going to be scary right here because the damage amplification for Resurgence just makes the takedown all the more painful here. That, I feel like the Infernal Drake was definitely very crucial indeed.
So, this is going to be 9 minutes and 4 seconds into the game. No first turret yet. But seeing how the lanes were being pushed out, it might go either way. But we're seeing Coops going in for the Kang. Intresso is their explosive cast for the dislodge, but it will be the calling to scare the members of TME away. There is a control ward, so Resurgence do have the vision advantage. And knowing this, they back off from Team Manila Eagles.
Great backup there coming in from Ciela to make, you know, just to give Intresso that backup he needs. So that was actually great timing. Great timing for Cielo. Right place at the right time, almost.
This is his hands. We can see that no one's risk. Here comes the onslaught of JLC onto Intresso. He does not get petrified, but he does get a huge lockdown from 3 members of TME. That would be another kill going to Trevor.
Yautza, and the fact that Rock continued his teleport, that doesn't really spell good for Resurgence right there. So that is going to be a little bit of pressure of relief from Team Manila Eagles, as JLC actually still has his teleport up. So we'll just have to see as to whether or not Team Manila Eagles can configure this into propelling to developing a lead above Resurgence, because that's a lot of pressure that Team Manila Eagles has right now, along with the ultimate. That's a fairly low cooldown on JLC's ultimate.
So I love how all the gold is going to Trevor, but his build pattern takes a while. But here comes the gang from Eternal. There will be no follow-up. He does get spotted by a control ward. Rocks does not want him near his ward. Eternal flashed away. Marky still sticking it to him. Eternal has no flash, no escape. He's a dead man. Marky picks up the kill for a 4-1 kill score.
Man, a little bit too ambitious there by Eternal, and Cooks just the right timing, leaning towards bot side, and the JLC at the helm. Again, this is what I'm talking about with that teleport. We might be seeing our first turret being taken.
Oh boy, 4 members committing themselves towards this bot lane turret. Ares does have the Glacial Fissure. We are not seeing any response, but there is the Glacial Fissure under that turret. JLC is tanking it, so this will buy Resurgence some time. But for how long? We are seeing that Rock is pushing the top lane. Trevor will respond to this. Rock is very low on health. He does see this coming. Equalizer is there for the slow zone. Trevor goes in for the flash in, but no. Petrifying Gaze just yet. There is the monsoon for the reset. Oh no, Coop falls down to Aries, really committing towards that first turret.
Yeah, it's not exactly the scenario there, but Rock, the chase actually continues between both of these AV damagers, but ultimately I think Rock is going to opt for the... No, actually does survive. Might actually be able to walk away from this, but nonetheless, good job on Trevor. Was able to prolong the takedown on that turret.
Turtle coming in, the Crystal Arrow will connect on to JLC. He does get taken out, but he does come back to life. Eternal slowed down, but there's the Unbreakable to deny the damage coming from Marky. JLC trades his life for Eternal. Ares is very low, same with Marky. No more mana, flash in from International. Well, just basic attacks there, so that will be enough for him to take down Marky. 3 members blinking red. This will be Resurgence coming up on top.
Yeah, this is another one of those scenarios where Team Manila Eagles they overextend, overcommit their boundaries, and they end up losing roughly 2 to, I think that was even 3 members they lost as a result. So, but nonetheless, didn't even result into a turret takedown. Although, sure, they were able to get the turret to substantially low health along with this mid lane here. So, that's a small consolation. But overall, very much even. And Coops might actually get this first turret finally.
What TME lacks is macro. They need to enhance their macro play even more, but the first turret goes to them. That's pretty much happy. Oh, 2 turrets for TME. JLC coming to this. He does get 2 turrets, but at what cost? He's very low on health. JLC flashes away with a 3-man petrifying gaze. Trevor with the plays, saving JLC's life.
Wow, it's not a moment too soon, because if that went longer, then that would have been devastating for both Trevor and Coops. But luckily, at the last minute, Petrifying Gaze was able to get all those targets and the stun on, because if that fight prolonged a little bit longer, Trevor with barely any mana left, that would have gone way south. But good on TME.
Ziala committing towards this turret. 2 turrets score for TME. What a knockup coming from JLC. Ziala fighting back. There is the slow. JLC is in big trouble. Does not see Ares just yet. There is a knockup. Marky joins in the fight, but there's the Unbreakable Glacial Fissure for the knockup onto the rocks, and Marky catches the arrow, but JLC will take down Ares.
Wow, very well played indeed. And again, getting the faster response there and good commitment there onto JLC. You know, just kind of balancing that Ciela, kind of dangling himself like that delicious apple that you'd want to take long enough for the rest of TME to respond, and Ciela definitely paid the price for that in the form of his support being sacrificed.
When you see something you like in a tree, you pick it immediately. You don't wait for it to get rotten. That's what team is doing. They see an opportunity, they go for it. Why wait for a rotten fruit where you can get something very rewarding? But here comes the teleport play.
Oh no.
Marky in his bad spot. Rock is there over that bush, but Mike takes down Eternal with his passive. A 1-for-1 trade so far. And Treso going in onto Rocks. He does have the red buff, but does get knocked up by the Howling Gale. Oh, Rock just tanked those turret hits to at least rejoin his allies in the top lane. So Resurgence 3 members in the top lane side, they are going to be pushing this turret.
Yes, indeed. Concession, though. Coops does not have any mana, though. Trevor gonna try to head up their top in order
They
to help.
don't have mana for this fight. They have to back off.
Not at all. And they might have to be careful, though. He has Ciela as well, exerting some pressure in the mid lane, but looks like he'll be backing away for the mid time as Trevor does make his way back to his own lane.
So this is going to be a standoff for the Infernal Drake now, because the turret-wise, Resurgence has the first Drake, the Infernal, then the turret, whereas TME, they do have the first turret of the game, and now the Infernal Drake is live. So if TME gets this Infernal, this will even out the discrepancy they have in terms of AD, AP, damage output. They need this Infernal. And here's the replay in the top lane.
Yes, looking at what happened here, so great on Marky wasn't able to take, was actually died, but luckily because of that passive, was able to take down Eternal here. But here's the beautiful thing though, Rock's great runaway, actually made a good escape there.
Howling Gale was more than enough for Rocks to survive in Treso, but now 7-5 kill score. This can be a good news or advantage for TME. They do have the numbers advantage towards them, but not that significant. However, Trevor is performing properly in this game. 2-0, not yet, no deaths so far. So let's see, will this Cassiopeia be the saving grace for Trevor and a chance for redemption from this previous game? But now Rock in the ball lane will be taking down the turret.
And things are kind of balancing out here right now, as turrets are also being traded by Resurgence here, but in exchange for top lane actually being pushed out, as well as Resurgence might have to just let it be for the meantime. But whether or not TME will transition this into a Rift Herald potentially, that would be interesting.
Oh, Trevor, a standoff against Intereso. He does have the blue buff, has the luxury to spend all his skills without any trouble, but the Infernal is live, so no members want to be picked off just yet. GLC, ultimate up, but no flash. Oh, he just spent his ultimate over that wall, so that's one resource down for GLC. More of a mishap. The nerves are getting to these guys. They are feeling the pressure.
A little bit.
Because I think I knew what he was trying to do. Because the last moment of the ultimate, you can hop over a wall, but that wall is just too thick. And I don't think he even traveled that far. So GLC kind of mispressed this moment. If he did have his ultimate, it would be good. But he does not have it. He will make it up with his own makeshift. There is the knockup, but the equalizer will cut off. Boom. Marky and Rox is there for the save. GLC taking all the hits, and a two-man knockup and a displacement. Holy moly, Intereso is a ping pong ball going back and forth. He gets taken out. Aries knocked up in the air. Cielo gets taken down, just not yet, but Marky will be picking up the kill for two members of Resurgence, just taken down. Cielo, no more mana. Aries is very low, gets slowed by the Battle Roar. Coops is there, give it to Marky. He is on a killing spree.
That was absolutely amazing. 3-0 in favor of Team Manila Eagles, and Coops clearly a star in that, going in onto the members of Resurgence, getting the perfect explosive cast. Absolutely crazy, because he was able to isolate Intereso right away, getting the takedown. So, wow, truly TME really flexing, realizing just how much is on the line here for this game, and looks like they'll be getting this Rift Herald. That would be absolutely huge, because a top inhibitor, an inner top turret taken to group, things are just going positive for them.
So far Rift Herald going for them, and it's actually going to be the Cloud Drake that is live right now, not the Infernal. So Resurgent, that's why no member wants to risk for that Cloud, but here is the replay of that mishap.
Indeed, a mishap indeed. Oopsie.
What? Why was that a replay though?
Yeah, just to spot out what exactly happened there. But here, looking at the other replay, of course. So, Enchanted Crystal Arrow actually connecting onto Rox, but it didn't necessarily deter TME from dealing the max damage that they can, because there wasn't really a full follow-up of damage from Resurgence either, because it was tricky. They got the support on Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but the key targets that they kind of want to squeeze out weren't taken. And at this point, it was just a great chase here coming in from TME. And
great coordination from the Eagles onto Resurgence.
It was just super key that they were able to take down Intereso right off the bat because of that very crucial explosive cast.
Great performance. Oh, Intereso picked up again. There's the slow. Coops is there. He does have the explosive cast and the flash. Forcing out the flash from Intereso. It's more than enough for the Eagles for this. Stun will be landing on the JLC. Coops is attacking the turrets. Hits. It will be the equalizer. Sucking up damage, but there's the redemption for the reset. 3-man knock-up from the Chuggas. Pretty understandable for Resurgence, but for TME, they are still healthy thanks to the redemption.
Yeah, that was a lot of heal coming out from that redemption there. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. If anything, if we're talking about heals here, Rox is just all about the...
Ooh, what is this? A Rift Herald spawn.
Rift Herald
No
potentially...
turret. Oh, I see what they're doing. Baiting out the Eternal. Spawn the Rift Herald there, use it as a distraction, and then force Resurgence to take down that first. Now we see TME going to the Baron.
Yes, and with Eternal down, this might be very much feasible, so long as they don't dwindle at that last moment here.
7,000 HP, now down to 5,000. Baron is dwindling quickly. So Resurgence knows this, they can't contest it. They will be giving away a huge objective towards TME. The Baron goes to the Eagle.
That was a very witty...
Ooh, Marky with a double knockup, but there is the reset again from the Monsoon. Marky is free hitting, but Ares is there with the Unbreakable. And no more allies to protect them. Ares was left just for the scraps. Marky with a KDA of 6-4. Looking pretty solid.
Oh man, this is absolutely crazy. Again, that was an amazing mind game by Team Manila Eagles. And baiting out the Rip Herald to pretend that they're going for the belt, only to just show a big surprise there by taking down both Eternal and Ciela.
They are using some, at least they are improving their macro from their experience. So, Resurgence, a huge deficit right now. 6,000 gold is going for TME with a Baron buff. This will be TME on the offensive with the Baron power play, whereas Resurgence getting all the resources they can to at least spend up this wave. Coops is there, DLC. We're going in, Coops does get spotted out. DLC does knock up Ciela, does miss the knockup onto Intreso. 4 members committing so much to JLC, but he does not care. Ciela is in the wall, grounded, cannot even move. It will be Coops going for 2-man body slap and explosive blast to deliver Ciela to Trevor over that wall. 4 members down, Resurgence looking to scatter around, going to the inhibitor turret, ditching the inner bot lane.
Yeah, but that definitely leaves a lot more options here for TME as they upward this inner mid turret. And man, with Ciela down, this is going to be very interesting as TME has all the peak potential in the world. Looks like JLC will be going back for the meantime, but does have his teleport up, so very much understandable as he does go for that teleport here. I don't know, Resurgence trying to go for the defense here. JLC actually going to zone out the rest of the members of Resurgence as they converge on this inhibitor.
Things are looking pretty good for the Eagles. If they do win this game, you know what that means. That they will be going to the knockout stage. If this is a victory that TME is going for, 2-man body summon to Coops. Intreso can't do anything. Ciela, not even enough damage. Marky is dominating. This is going to be the Manila Eagles really showing what they've got, and Trevor is performing so well in this game, getting a double. I don't think he even had one death here. Perfect game for Trevor.
Indeed, and with only Intreso and Rock here to defend, Team Manila Eagles just going at this inhibitor here, exerting all the more pressure.
Benjamin Gaze. Oh, that is just painful. Intreso just walked into that, and with 4 members down of Resurgence, TME looking really good so far. And for Resurgence to come back from this huge deficit in terms of itemization, they are so behind in gold. 10,000 gold lead. And as we see that the gold lead increases to 10,000, you know who's going to win.
And that's what it all started with, that domino effect that happened towards the Baron side wherein they got baited. And the tricky part here is that I'm actually trying to recall if Ciela's hawk shot was up, because if it were, then it wouldn't necessarily have been necessary to have gone for that face check towards Baron side. So that was just really where things went south so fast for Resurgence. They wouldn't have found that position if it weren't for that fumble towards the Baron side. And as a result, TME just capitalizing on to the T. It's just absolutely awe-striking here. And with this recall coming in from TME, it's an easy option wherein they could just transition towards bot side and seal out any other form of comeback that Resurgence has here.
This is going to be time ticking for Resurgence. Look at Trevor, 703, performing so well.
Indeed, let's go ahead and check out what's happened towards top side here. Cooks just kind of taking it like a champion. Eternal just trying to go in onto the more vulnerable targets to see if he could at least chunk someone down, but ultimately gets taken. And as a result here, Ciela was able to get the shutdown onto Marky here, but it doesn't really help even out the playing here for Resurgence.
So things will be so dire for Resurgence coming in. Redemption for the reason. JLC is in deep. Coops is there for the flag. These two work like twins. They are syncing so well, pushing back Resurgence. The Nexus turrets are remaining. The only thing standing in the way of TME, looking to end this game really fast. You can see they're pushing them so hard that it's going to be a really good victory for Team Manila Eagles. A double kill for Marky. This KDA stands being Trevor with a perfect game. The Team Manila Eagles from the Philippines will be taking away Resurgence glory.
Wow, that was absolutely crazy, but looks like this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, the last winner of our group stage will be proceeding to knockout stage. Congratulations, Team Manila Eagles.
If you notice, first game against Resurgence lasted over 50 minutes long, but now, not anymore. You see that TME, they know what to do, they know how to adjust, ending the game before even the 30-minute mark.
That was insane. I mean,
let's check the standings. A day to celebrate here in the Philippines. So Team Manila Eagles will be moving on to the knockout stage. I do not see any more tiebreakers. The tiebreaker was already this game. So Resurgence will be knocked down by Team Manila Eagles Young Generation in the first seed. Great score, 7-1. And that's going to be showing their skill. Team Manila Eagles 5-3 for a score of 5. Resurgence 4-4 for a score of 4. Qualifier Hunters 3-5 for 3. And Hunters with 1-7 for a score of 1. I gotta say, this is a very intense group stage I've seen.
Indeed. I mean, either way, even though Resurgence lost, I think both teams come out of it with something good, in the sense that for Resurgence, there has been a little bit of a struggle with the Singaporean teams lately, as far as some of the fans losing faith, because Singapore has been consistently at the bottom of the pack these past few splits. But I think this time around, at least, it does go to show that there is hope for the Singaporean squad. Regardless of where there were imports or not, I've seen better plays coming in from their own local talent like Cielo, like Eternal. They played beautifully this GPL that I really look forward to more things coming in from Singapore, and for Team Manila Eagles as well. There was a lot of doubt for TME going into this. Like, still, there was the shadow that a lot of people were thinking that their counterpart, the first runner-up in the Philippines, Mineski, would have probably done a better job in TME. But I think this just goes to show that TME shattering all those doubts that people had on them, making it to the knockout stage.
As Trevor said in the interview video, but congratulations for the two teams moving on to the knockout stage. Young Generation and Team Manila Eagles. For me, the GPL journey starts now. The boss awaits, the Gigabyte Marines and Ascension Gaming awaiting them in the knockout stage. See you guys on Friday for the continuation of the Garena Premier League Summer 2017 for the knockout stage. We have been your shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me is Arctic. See you guys on the knockout stage, and let's see how TME and Young Generation will perform.